those questions need to be asked of the police department. They need to give us answers. We want to hold him accountable. We want to hold the police department accountable. We know that he wasn't taken to Highland Hospital, as the police chief said, because Mr. Blueford called me from Highland Hospital saying that medical records at Highland say that Alan Blueford was never taken there. And there were no records at Highland Hospital. So what has happened then is more of the approach of demonizing the victim and the victim's family here. And this is what we don't want to tolerate. So as a community, we have to continue to ask ourselves, do we get responses from our police department in these situations? Or do we have to ask for people to engage in the kind of conduct that shows tremendous rage? I see the uncle here. Oscar Grant's uncle is here, and we couldn't get answers from the police department. We couldn't get answers from the city. We couldn't get answers from Bart until people took to the streets. We have many comments about what happens when people take to the streets. But when we don't get a response from our city officials, when we don't get a response from the police department, people feel the need to move the issue further. They feel the need to take additional action. I think the importance of being outraged in our democratic society has to be encouraged when we don't find that we can get redress from our government. Part of our history. It's part of the American history. It's part of our history as a community here in Elton. It's part of the history of African Americans. That if we don't move, if we don't act, we don't get redress from our government and city officials. But we want this police report, we want this autopsy report, and we want the police department to be held accountable. I don't know if you have something more to say. But what we hope to do is to continue to mobilize the community to demand, one, that the shooter police officer be dismissed, that the district attorney prosecute him. We want the Oakland Police Department and the Oakland City to be held accountable for this conduct, for hiring an officer who would chase someone down and shoot him in that manner, who would take out a gun after riding up on 3 young black men. We also want to repeal the police officers' Bill of Rights, because it's a shield to police officers' misconduct.
That's right.
We hope to build a statewide campaign to give support to that.
There you go.
Thank you.
There you go. Now, that was finally, that's the point.
Yeah, that was Walter Riley, another esteemed and well-known litigator in our community. Now I will address you as Alan Blueford's older cousin. During the hours and the days following Alan's death, we stood before you as a family and said that we would fight for justice for Alan. Because even in his death, he deserves respect.
That's right.
Even in his death, he deserves truth related to the circumstances surrounding his leaving his family. His death. He doesn't deserve assassination or killing, but he definitely a murderer. And none of us as human beings deserve to be lied about, to have lies told about the reason and the way in which we died. And so together, we marched. Together we rallied as a community. And as a family, we thank you. We thank you for your continued support. And as a family, we have spoken to numerous city officials, asking, as you have heard multiple times this morning, for the coroner's report, at the very least, for the police reports. And in response from all of those individuals, we've received a false sense of sympathy, followed by, we can't help you. It will take 6 to 12 months to receive his reports, and if they need longer, we'll give them longer. Because certain complexities may exist, such as differing stories between witnesses and police officers. That's obviously the case here. Alan was said to have shot Miguel Masso in the stomach. We soon learned that Alan never shot a gun and that Miguel Masso shot himself in the foot. Chief Howard Jordan went to a town hall meeting at Axel Gospel Church and stood in the church and said that immediately following the shooting, Allen received immediate medical care and treatment, and he was rushed to Highland Hospital.
Lied.
Evidence proves
Low.
Allen did not receive immediate medical care and treatment. He died at 12:20 a.m. And as a side note, we take that as a message from Allen to say continue to fight, because 12:20 represents his birthday, December 20th. We hear you loud and clear. We love you. As to being rushed to the hospital, Highland Hospital, evidence proves, and this is through the family's efforts, that Allen was never taken to the hospital. A child's body was left in the street. The only thing that happened following the shooting of Allen Blueford was acts to ensure that he died in hope that his story would die with him.
That's right.
But what they did not anticipate was the love of his family. What they did not anticipate is the concern and the support of this community. We stand before you over 2 months and 2 weeks following Allen's death. And we say to you again that we will continue to fight for justice for Allen Blueford. Because we know, and the police department knows, that the more we continue to question and persist in this quest, people will start to speak. That's guaranteed to happen. That's why the police officers interrogate. They know the more they can question, the more likely people will start to speak. And people are speaking, but they're scared. And so we ask that the community continues to support us. And I would like to go through a list of demands that we now have, which I know was addressed by Attorney Walter Riley, but I would like to list them for you. The Blueford family, in addition to the community, the members of CEIU, 1021, clergy, Occupy Oakland, International Socialist Organization, ISO, Dignity and Resistance, and the family and the committee of Oscar Grant, we stand and we demand Miguel Masso be taken off of paid leave and terminated from employment with Oakland Police Department. That the district attorney prosecute Officer Miguel Masso for the murder of Allen Blueford. That Oakland Police Chief Howard Jordan and other involved officers in Oakland Police Department be held accountable for the multiple lies related to the shooting of Allen Blueford, the circumstances surrounding the stop of Allen Blueford and the other 2 teenagers, and the medical care and treatment provided to Allen Blueford following the shooting. That a public acknowledgement of the lies released regarding the circumstances surrounding Allen Blueford's murder be provided by the Oakland Police Department. As Attorney Walter Riley stated, we demand repeal of the Police Officers' Bill of Rights that shields the wrongful conduct of violent police officers and stonewalls citizens from seeking justice from the officers in the department and cities that employ them. And we also ask for legislative changes to stop and frisk laws, which we can state are stop and kill laws, in a manner that will make it illegal for any officer employed as a public servant to violate an individual's civil liberties based on racial profiling. And God, we pray as we pursue the accomplishments of these demands. Again, on behalf of Allen Blueford's family, his siblings, his parents,